Hey!
Arrival video.
Hey, look at this.
There we go.
It's a new technique I'm trying.
We only have these things, so we need some traditional style.
Yeah, we got the good stuff.
That's good. Ethan's still practicing. I know you can't see because the GoPro, but look how bad that group is. Dang, is that bad?
Shoot more than I've even looked at my bow this year, so.
Well, you got a crossbow.
Hashtag crossbow.
Look at this fancy thing. Oh, here's a perfect. Sometimes life just works out perfectly.
Planned. What's up, bro?
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man.
Let's get it.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company. Your track job was the first fun track job.
Oh, that was the best.
That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Looking back on it, my biggest regret was opening day. I knew where it needed to be. I should have just done a simple hang and bang off the corner of that field, and he would have been toast. But I didn't.
That was our first public land deer hunting trip, and it went extremely well.
5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
It was a 90-yard shot.
Pass through.
And then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years. And, not to get too crazy emotional about it, but like
10 years, no buck. All right, guys. Episode unknown, because we're recording a lot this week, and we're not sure what order this one will be appearing. But it's August 1st. We're here in the deer shop.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Very hot as shit.
It's 88 degrees. Very humid.
We have no pants on behind this.
Yeah, there's no pants on underneath here. Just 4 dudes without pants. It's Fair Week, and we've been running the booth up at the fair, Medina County Fair. We've been podcasting up there. We podcasted today. We're going to podcast tomorrow. Today's was actually with Wild Time TV. It's going to be on their channel, so check out the latest Wild Time TV podcast. And then ours, which we're recording tomorrow, might be out before this, so not to confuse everyone. But we're doing a lot of podcasting this week.
As long as you know where it's going.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to give it an episode number. But it's sometime
No
in
patching
August.
it intro.
Yeah, it could be a bonus. I don't know. We're going to start doing that, I think, if we record enough.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, no one knows. Fair Week. I love Fair Week.
Fair Week is a universal time of the year that, the summer's almost over and it's very hot.
Very hot. The food is so good, but it's gotten so much worse over the years, I feel
So
like.
my pants have gotten tighter this week because I've eaten
makes sense.
so much fair food. And I've not been at work, which means I'm not working out, which means we're eating fair food, drinking beer. And it's been a rough week.
Yeah, I was so bloated. I looked like I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I was kind of lucky. The 5-month-old got me out of there early. I didn't get too much damage on Tuesday.
I've had my baby up there, I think, every day but today.
I don't know what your baby
She
not
sleeps with the drape on, so we just walk around and have fun.
Yeah.
The topic of this episode, which we will get to eventually, so if you're listening for that specific reason, it's going to be a minute. Why we left, and when I say we, half the group, why we left Tactacam and Spartan cell cams, went with Wise Eye. These guys are still running their individual Tactacam plans. Nick is still running 1 Tactacam, I believe, maybe 2. And then he's running Spartans. So Nick and Tyler are still running their Spartans. So you'll see a bunch of Spartan footage this year on the videos. These guys are running Tactacams for pictures. But half of us, the 4 brothers, Gore, and Matt, switched to Wise Eye cell cameras.
And that's just cell cams. We still got a lot of non-cell cams.
Yeah,
Brownings and bogs. And
we got all
the
this
one Amazon one you got. Careful.
Yeah, I bought a $38 Amazon 4K video trail camera and threw it up on a creek like a mile into the woods back there.
And it looks really sweet.
It does look sweet. It takes micro cards, which I don't like.
Oh,
so
really?
I have a couple extra ones, so I'll be able to swap. But if I forget one, I'm screwed with that camera. But it's a Chinese Amazon something.
Makes weird noises when you push buttons.
Oh, yeah. But if it takes good crisp trail camera video for $38, it beats spending $170 on a Browning.
Yeah,
because
who
I'm
cares?
over spending that kind of money on a non-cell camera, to be honest with you.
Yeah, terrible.
We'll get to the cell camera stuff here in a minute. I feel like it's just a good time to bullshit a little bit. You were on last week, Alex. Or no, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Technically,
Two
you were on
episodes.
last week. It was 2 episodes ago because they did a Western one that was pre-recorded. But we charted. We charted again.
They must like us.
So, yeah, that's
We're
let's
doing
look it up.
something right.
Yeah, it's nice validation to get those chart rankings, which means we're doing this here for fun, just as an excuse for us all to get away from our wives and drink some alcohol and talk about hunting and life. And we're charting, so that means enough people are listening to us that in the country that they find us interesting.
We have had some people come up to us at the fair and say, hey,
Yeah.
we really enjoy your stuff. So that's pretty cool, too. Some people we don't know.
Yeah, I do enjoy that when I'm talking to some guys and they're like, oh, man, your series with blah, 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 or you did this was cool, and that does feel pretty
That's
cool.
perfect segue for me. I have not been on in a while, but
No, when was the last time you were on the pool shooting?
no, I've been on since
Trout camp?
I did a trout camp one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
so
The
I
one
think-
that I almost didn't air because you guys were just bad.
Yeah.
And I had to
we
highly
did one-
edit that podcast.
I was on the one when we kind of did the football predictions and stuff with Nick, and I think that
Oh, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that was the pool one. I think maybe a guy
Yeah, I
got
think
roasted
that
on
was
that
the
one.
pool.
And that was one of my favorite podcasts.
But well,
Speaking of, there's football on.
there is football. on
We're
right
recording during the Hall of Fame game, first NFL preseason game of the year, so football is back.
Man, I went
But-
on that field the other day because I work in Kent, Ohio. I went on that field. It sucks.
Yeah, I was
It's
at the game where
terrible.
the field died. I was at that Packers game. It was how long ago was that?
now. A year ago.
3
No,
years. Brown.
it
He went
was-
to the Browns
no.
Jets last
I went last
time.
year too,
Last
but
year.
I mean, I went to the game when the field died and they canceled it. They canceled the game because the field was so hard from some renovation. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
It wasn't turf.
No,
It's turf now.
it's turf now.
It's
It
terrible.
was turf before.
Well, it was like I think they switched it to turf that year, and it like congealed and got like concrete hard spots. So they literally canceled the game.
Because
We drove all the way down to Canton to watch the Packers play the preseason game, and they canceled it.
my sophomore year, we played our first game there.
That's cool. Was it cool?
Yeah, it was my first varsity game. I was just like,
In a
this
huge stadium.
lights on. I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
So
Well,
we
anyways,
can-
I'm gonna pull back on that just because I'm gonna try and do this for Cody. So obviously,
Cody?
I'm getting there.
right,
in
Cody.
May, I was at a bachelor party, and my buddy said, "Hey, look at you, the big new YouTuber. I love SBO. I watch everything they put out. I make my wife sit down and watch them with me. I want a shout out. So Cody Furr, down the road, down here in Medina County. Here's your shout out. Hope you."
His is actually his
listening to
second
it.
because I
Did
told
you
the
guys
story.
give him one?
Yeah, I gave
Did you
him
give
one
it to him?
when Nick was here last for the. I think it was a Country Deer when he was with Born Again Matt. Nick was here. And I told him that story of how Cody said like he enjoys watching our stuff and all this stuff, and he's like, not everyone has to be like Nick and just try to kill only the big ones and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that. And Nick was
yeah.
all like, oh,
Yeah,
doing
So
the Nick
Cody,
thing.
that was for you. Anyways, that was your official. So
Yeah. Shout out Cody Furr.
So yeah, definitely people are
He's a
listening.
big bass fisherman, right?
Yeah,
He
he's
catches
super
huge bass.
fisherman.
Always
Yeah.
has. Instagram, I remember. Facebook, Instagram, like just hog bass.
Yeah.
I used to ice fish with him.
He said he wants a Leaky to sponsor him.
Well,
The
let's
Leaky
work
needs to
something out.
sponsor himself.
Right?
I wish the Leaky was big enough where we could start sponsoring people, but if you have a cool idea for a T-shirt, we'll just put you on a T-shirt, and then people can buy it.
Damn right.
We've been working on some of that stuff this week. Hat sales are going kind of slow, so we're running a booth at the Medina County Fair. And it's actually a lot of fun because you get to see a lot of people. I'm a social guy, so it works for me. We're not selling a lot of stuff, but the heavy days are coming. We're just selling hats. So if you want some cool hats in your local, this podcast is airing after the fair's over, so I guess it's too late. But we're selling a bunch of hats up there, and we'll have leftovers here in the shop that we'll sell from here. So if you want a hat, reach out. We'll be able to get you one without having to pay shipping. There's a couple different designs.
So
available.
fishing and hunting.
Yeah, there's some cool ones, those leather patch ones.
So Luke was not happy with the leather patch walleye hats. I think they're awesome. I mean, I hate walleye fishing, so I'm not going to wear one. But I think those hats are awesome.
Yeah.
And he's going to do that with the deer camp stuff. So hopefully we get some pretty cool ones. We briefly touched on the fact that there's football playing. I think we're going to, like, at the beginning of every podcast this year, we're going to, like, briefly touch on a little bit of what's going on sports-wise. Isaac told us we had to do it last year. We did it once. It was bad luck because the Packers lost that next week. But we can briefly touch on
directly
sports.
before they lost?
Yeah, it was literally the podcast
Against the
leading
Niners?
up to the Niners game,
Wow.
which that was sad, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
The Olympics are going on right now.
And they're terrible.
No one's watching. No one in America that's a Republican's really watching.
That one guy, dude, girl thing.
She's born a female, but her testosterone levels are high enough to where she doesn't pass as a female. And she beat the shit out of some girl from Belgium or something, and then she quit, like, within 45 seconds. That was the big
Took one
news today.
Boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took like 2 punches and said, I'm done.
Yeah.
Which is sad that it's come to that. And the opening ceremony was its own, I don't want to get political on the
Can
podcast,
of worms.
but the opening ceremony was, there was parts about it that actually were cool when they did the, there is a Marie Antoinette with the missing heads and the rock thing where they were playing metal music.
Yeah. Gorgia, I think it
You
was.
would probably know more so than we would.
I know
'cause
some of their music.
The LeBron memes are going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff was cool, but then it got into the whole political Last Supper, menage a trois, threesome thing. We could probably do without that in sports, but football's back.
Football
We have
is
like
back.
a month of stupid preseason games, but I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know
I'm
it.
so excited.
I mean, it's here.
We
We're
get the
watching
first
it.
Packers game and hunting weekend.
Yeah.
All in one.
I'm really looking forward to that Kentucky trip. That Kentucky trip's coming up soon. What, are we about a month away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just over a month.
A little bit over a month away.
And with your schedule, you were good for.
Yeah, I got that day. I'm supposed to work that Saturday, but I got my Kelly day in there, so I don't work at all.
I do know that we're going to eventually do whenever we get Uncle Jay back on again. We're trying to get all the career firemen together on a podcast. But there's a bunch of us, so we might not have enough mics. But to kind of talk about the firefighter schedule and lifestyle and how that works in the fall, kind of explain to people a little bit because they probably think that we just don't work. They probably think this is our job.
No.
No. I mean, I don't work that much, but
Yeah, I mean,
this isn't our job.
I feel like you work harder in other times of year to make yourself more available in the
And
fall.
we'll explain all that in a future
know.
podcast. But
So
I know the Born Again guys, when they do their podcasts, they always throw those little jabs in about how we
Cool
don't
fireman,
work.
you don't have to work.
Yeah. They beat us in the charts by 7 positions this week. So let's try to beat them in the charts this week just for fun. Matt always makes fun of me because I look at the chart numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's just like scoring a buck or measuring your fish. Like, if we're doing it, I at least want to see where we're at. You know? You don't shoot a deer and then not score it. Some guys
people
do,
do.
but you don't catch a fish and then not measure it. Like, you just want to see what you got, you know?
Yeah, if you don't use a tape measure, compare it to something. I always put my foot up next to it or my arm or something.
Yeah. Something for reference, beer can.
Beer can.
I could have gone without scoring my buck 2 years ago.
So you two brothers, Alex and Ryan here, you guys are in year 2 with bet.
See, I'm actually winning because
I don't know
we
if-
have the same,
I don't know if that
Doe.
means you're winning. You guys each shot a doe, but
I have an extra auxiliary
you shot
kill.
a pool. he guided 2 other guys to bucks. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I might add
I don't
something.
see it wrote up there, though.
Yeah, I could add it though.
So, yeah, we have some work to make up this year.
This whole table does.
Yeah, this is the buckless Youpers again. I think
Yeah.
this is the same.
I missed that podcast. I, for some reason, was unavailable, but I definitely should have fucking been
Yeah,
there.
the buckless Youpers was this. The group sitting here is. We are the guys from the group that didn't kill a buck. Actually, everyone else on our team killed a buck except Gore. But you know, he don't
Technically-
he never kills bucks.
I feel
Poor
bad
guy.
just saying his name, but Dylan technically didn't kill a buck that last year.
He
right?
killed a mule.
He killed a mule deer.
Okay.
On film. And speaking of, perfect segue before we start getting into the subject for tonight. Whenever this podcast airs, whether it's the week of the 4th or the week of the 11th, Isaac's Western stuff will be out. Dylan's mule deer hunt will be live on YouTube whenever this podcast airs because it's airing this Sunday night. 4-part Western series. Isaac spent all year editing, putting it together, making tweaks, changing the thumbnails. He's had a bunch of different thumbnail designs. He's gone through the whole gamut of things. And his Western series will be live whenever this podcast is live. He's walking in the room right now. Just give a little wave in front of one of these cameras. We're talking about your film series. Hello. Your film series will be live.
We didn't do the split thing, Isaac.
Yeah, we're not Isaac. So Isaac's been getting on our ass because we're not as technical with the camera angles and the editing as he is when he puts the podcast together. So he's been trying to. I don't know me. Don't move it right. Don't move it mid podcast. I'm sorry, listeners. You have to deal with this. Well, we got that camera for Ethan. Anyways, his Western series will be live. Hopefully it's racking up some good views. It was a big part of what he's doing. And they're leaving in 11 days, 12 days?
Yeah.
They're leaving 12 days to do it again in Utah this year.
13 days.
13 days. They're going to Utah. They got mule deer and potentially an elk tag. They haven't decided yet, but
High country.
Is that
No.
just discretionary on if they want to buy it and go for it, or
Yeah.
do they have
yes,
to?
It's over
the
the counter
elk
for their
tags
unit.
are over the counter. They've gotten Isaac and Dylan have gotten this, and Jay have gotten into this predicament before, where they're like, "Oh, we're going out west for 16 days. Let's buy antelope, elk, mule deer tags." And then they hunt mule deer for 9 days, and they got 3 days before they got to head home, and they're like, "Wow, well, I just spent $500 on an elk tag. Let's go try to find an elk." And then, we got to stop somewhere and try, and it creates problems having almost too many tags. I don't look at it that way. I think they kind of look at it that way. I would be more of an opportunity guy. Oh, one just happened to walk by. Sweet. But I don't know if they're going to. I have a feeling they're going to go for an elk tag.
I
Once
hope
they're
so.
out there, they're going to be like, all right, let's get the elk tag and let's go.
Because they're going to the same place they went 2 years ago. And
Yeah,
there's some
if you
elk.
listen to the Wild Time podcast that we recorded at the fair, which will probably be out when this one is, we talk in depth about how they're going to a unit that has massive, over-the-counter, giant bulls, possible velvet bulls. Isaac said 40 bulls were killed on that mountain range in the last year, which is a lot. But the bull that they filmed, this giant, it was a 350-inch, like 7 by 7 or 8 by 8, a couple years ago, is still alive, I guess. So, there's there's a world record velvet bull where they're going hunting. So, we'll see.
Be cool.
Yeah.
But getting that thing out of there would be a pain in the ass.
Oh, my God.
I would
They could make a film alone on just packing out that elk in velvet in 90-degree heat from 12,000 feet.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that sounds
Oh,
miserable.
God. I don't actually know if they're 12,000 feet, but.
Either way.
You guys want to add anything before we talk about cameras? What do you want to talk about?
Maybe one day I'll go out west hunting. Probably, if I do, it'd be in Montana, most likely.
Mountainous.
Yeah, you got some connections, though.
So,
I would like to do it again. You're in the same boat as me and Ryan right now with kids and work and all this stuff. It's hard to find time and money to go out west
Yeah.
and chase animals around.
mostly
but-
money.
I will do it, but just got to get through my schooling first. I was planning on going this year, but I got a new job, so that's why I'm not going to Utah this year.
We got our whole lives to get out
Yeah.
west and kill stuff. I'm definitely going to go back spring bear hunting again. That'll happen for sure. So
I would say time is my biggest restraint right now. Obviously, I know, you'll talk about the firefighter thing. When you get a chance, you're a little more flexible at times,
Yeah.
but it's
I
staying
was
enough time in the
flexible.
day.
Now I find myself just child caring. I'm not allowed to call it babysitting.
Yeah, it's not
Child
babysitting if it's your own kid.
I am the child care provider during the week most of the time now. So daddy daycare, man,
Yeah.
makes it hard to go out to Montana.
Yeah.
That's all right though.
How's the new bow shooting?
Good. Get new strings for it here soon.
Where are you getting them put on at?
Cromers.
Cromer's gonna put them on
Yeah.
for you. Okay.
I need to go see him.
Are you we had planned last year at the end of the season that we were gonna be talking about your brand new bow setup.
I know.
And he did.
Time, kid,
How'd that happen?
money. I don't know. Life got away.
I hear you. I'm still.
I'm
shooting
still trying to plan a beach vacation.
I talked to Mom about that actually. We're gonna after Fair Week's over, I'm off next week as well because that's just the way my schedule works out. And I'll be sitting at home doing the child caring, and I'm gonna look hard into the beach vacation. I'll find a house, find out how many people are going, and I'll just put it on my credit card, and we'll figure out money later.
I just want to catch some sharks.
I want to catch fucking sharks too.
and get roasted.
I'm so mad that we haven't caught a shark this year. Pisses me off. That was so much fun last year.
Yeah, that was.
And your
that was
kids
a
will be
great time.
this year. Your kids will be there, which will be even better.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better.
Yeah.
Having that family, it's weird how we used to just want to do the party vacations, but now I'm not too worried about having a family vacation. It sounds just as fun.
Yeah.
It's like you had a kid or something.
Yeah,
If anyone didn't know.
yeah. First person to ever have a kid. That's what they say at work about me.
Yeah.
Go figure. All right, cell cameras.
Yeah. I didn't get one till last year, 2 years ago. I got.
I think 2
this
years.
one.
I think
Yeah,
you're
it was
running
2 years ago.
We started. We really haven't been running them that long. We got our first few in 2019. But I think we were only running like 2.
Sure, how's it gone? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got 2 Tactacams in 2019, and then picked up some Spartans in 2020, and then this will be our 5th season running them.
So we've had Tactacam, Spartan, Moultrie, Stealth Cam,
And
Browning.
Never had a Browning. Nope. Wise
and
Eye.
Wise Eye.
Wise Eye is the 5th company. So we decided as brothers, plus Matt and Nick, or plus Matt and Chris, to stop individually paying for all these random cell cam. I was running Spartans and Tactacams. Ethan was running Moultries. Matt was running Spartans and Tactacams. Chris was running Tactacams. Isaac was running Tactacams. Luke was running Stealth and Tactacams. That's a lot of shit. And we all share everything anyways when it comes to pictures and stuff. We don't keep secrets from each other. So we decided, after talking to the Born Again crowd, because they had went to it 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
the Wise Eye.
Yeah, since Wise Eye came out, they were on them.
We decided to conglomerate our camera game to one company. So we went with Wise Eye, which offers a ranch plan, which offers us incredible savings. If you add up everything that all of us were paying for cell cameras per month, and then put the Wise Eye in there, it's crazy how much money we're saving.
Yeah.
Crazy how much money. Why is my cousin calling you?
See how it does.
Tell him we're busy podcasting.
So along those lines of the money savings, the product quality has to be there as well. I mean, obviously you haven't had the time to test it, I don't think.
We've had them out a week. What I have noticed quickly is that most all cell cameras are basically the same quality.
Yeah.
The pictures that are being sent to the Wise Eye app are pretty good. You can request a HD, you can request a video, all that stuff. It's a little bit better than what the Tactacams ended up being. The Tactacams, and I'll get into this when we talk about them, when you first buy them and add them to your plan and start using them, they're real crisp. Like, they look good. Over time, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's data lag. I don't know if it's just the lens on the camera, stuff with that. Over time, the quality of the pictures you're receiving through the app just gets worse.
Maybe it's just got some type of internal memory that's getting full. That
I mean, when they
something?
sell cameras, like these cameras that we're filming the podcast on, like shutter count is something. If you buy a used camera, people will pay attention to the shutter count because it's the amount of pictures the camera took. So, apparently, the more mileage on them, the worse the quality, and that seems to be the case with the Tactacams. Because when we first got them in 2019, the image quality that was transmitted to us was awesome, no complaints. But over time, especially now, those cameras, it's hard to tell what a deer is during daylight. If you get a picture of a buck walking through the trees in daylight, forget it. Just forget it.
Your SD card?
No.
Or
the
just
SD
ones
card,
sent to
the
you?
SD card is better, but the ones being sent is
but
bad.
the point.
But I'm
Point of
still
point of a cell
Same,
camera.
though, is what I'm asking.
I think I guess I would have to compare SD card pictures from now to when we first got them.
That's
So
what
maybe
I was saying,
And I wonder if
it's
it's
a camera or is it something with transmitting it?
I wonder if it's 2019. They were such good photos because every photo that you received was like that from anything, your phone, computer, anything. But now, since technology has advanced, that's stayed the same. So it's the image quality has not changed. Everything else just is better.
Like what we
so
expect.
You're comparing to it. Yeah.
I also think the fact that when we first got Tactacam, there was maybe, let's just throw numbers out there, 10,000 people using them. So there was less traffic on the servers. As compared to now, there's probably 100,000 people using them. And, there's millions of pictures being transmitted every day. That might have something to do with it, too.
Did you have issues with the Tactacams with requesting HD photos and them not coming in?
Not really. There were times where I would request an HD photo or request a video, and it takes like 24 hours to come in.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of standard. Like the next check-in period or the next time the camera's activated is when it's supposed to send.
Yeah.
But it's weird because sometimes it would just come right away.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you could request it and just bam, it's right there.
Yeah.
Which that was.
I don't know if it was an individual camera problem. I believe it may have been.
It's hard to say without seeing the settings.
Right, but I would never get them.
Hard to say.
I would never get them. I think you said that you recommended. I am the worst person with what kind of wear it is, software update, firmware update,
you
whatever kind of wear.
You should, like every year before deer season, I would always go through and do a new firmware update because they would change things and modify things and bugs. And
yeah, I should probably do that before I get them out.
And go get the one out of the woods that's been sitting there for a year.
Well,
Well, we got one in Kentucky that's been sitting there. It's going to be it's still taking pictures, hopefully, unless the batteries are dead.
Yeah.
So what is the ranch plan?
So the ranch plan allows you to have, for one, you have to have a minimum of 12 cameras to qualify for the ranch plan. But once you qualify for the ranch cam, you have 12 cell cameras in hand. You pay $6 per camera every month, and then whatever data they use, you pay for that. And it's 1 gigabyte of data is $10. So if you use 1.8 gigabytes, it's an additional $18 on top of the $6 per camera. If you use, 32 gigabytes, it's $320, which you would never.
And
So-
roughly how many pictures
yeah,
are a gigabyte?
So right now we're on
pictures
pace.
are nothing. The
We're
video
on
is where it
pace
takes
to
it.
use. Yeah, it depends on how many videos you request. Daytime images are more than nighttime images, data wise. We're on pace to use $18 worth of data. So we're running. So it's 12 times 6, which is 72 plus the 18. It's $90. We're on pace to spend $90 to run 12 cell cameras for the month. Which, comparing it to Tactacam, this is the main reason we switched. Comparing to Tactacam, you can run Tactacams for $10 a month if you pre-buy an entire year. If you don't pre-buy an entire year, it's $13 a month that you have to pay per camera. That means...
Then when you add another camera,
Yeah, so
12 instead of 13. So
Right, so-
3 I'm going to run, I'll be running at $37.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so
running
you're-
4
A
at 49.
So you're running 4 for 49, 3 for 37, 12 for 90. Mathematically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if this is January and we have 12 cameras over corn piles, we're going to use a lot more data.
Yeah.
So those months might end up costing you more. But in order for a camera to cost $13 on Wiseye, you'd have to have an additional $7 in data, which means it would have to use each camera would have to charge 0.7 gigabytes worth of data, which is a lot. That's basically 7,000 night pictures or 14,000 night pictures, like 3,000 day pictures
Over the
course of 10,000 pictures a month. So when you're running bait, yes, things will go crazy. This time of year, scrapes, mineral licks, field edges, we're not even scratching the data usage. Like I said, 12 cameras are only on pace to use 1.8.
So
it tells you what your pace is. It's like how much you've used,
Yeah.
how much you're projected to use. And we're projected to use 1.8 gigs this month.
So
and that's requesting a lot of videos just to test stuff out.
for their base, like, do they have a base model that doesn't provide video, and then a second tier camera that does,
So
or do they all?
every camera you can do the photo video mode.
Okay.
So like you don't have to have it on. You can just do picture only. But every camera you buy, you can request videos from. Now, if you're doing individual plans, Ethan might have to look this up on his phone because I didn't write down what the individual plan cost is. I would assume it's probably similar to what Spartan and Tactacam is, cost-wise. But for when you're running 12 plus like we are, this ranch plan's awesome. We have 12 right now. I'm sure we'll end up getting 6 to 8 more before the season's up or before the season comes in. So we'll be running around 20 cameras on this plan.
The base one is $9 a month and $9 per extra camera. The next tier is $15 and then $10 for 4,500 HD images.
See, that's a lot of HD images. 4,500 a month? Holy moly.
And then 9,000 HD images for $20 a month. Additional cameras, $15 per month.
So if you're running more, it just behooves everyone to run the ranch plan.
If they get to
If you're running-
But like people in the city, they have 1-2 cameras.
Right. But if you're a hunter, it only takes about 5 cameras. So 5 cameras on that highest plan to outcost the ranch. So the
Yeah.
ranch plan's
But
where
they
it's
have to
at.
buy 6 other cameras at $140 or $200 a
Yeah.
pop that they don't need because they're hunting 20 acres
Yeah.
of
Yep.
field edge,
So how long has Wiseye been in business? How long have they been around?
I think 2 or 3 years. I know Born Again's been with them for at least 2 seasons now. This will be number 3, I believe. So this upcoming season will be Born Again's 3rd. So they've been around at least that long. Probably a year or 2 prior to that, when they were muddling around before they got kind of recognized. They're still not very widely recognized. You're not going to flip through hunting magazines
I
and
don't
see a Wiseye
see 'em
advertisement
anywhere.
But so far, I'm pretty happy with them. I mean, the cameras seem pretty high quality design-wise. Nothing's broke on them yet. They were very easy to set up. Put them in the woods, they start taking pictures. I don't like the app, so I'll get to that part right now. The app, Spartan and Tactacam had some serious apps that were very well usable, very user-friendly. Lots of users are using them, so they're probably the gold standard for cell camera apps. I very much like those 2 apps. For Wiseye, you had to download this Hunt Control. Is that what it's called?
Hunt Control, yeah.
Hunt Control. And it's just not as good, to be honest. Like, it doesn't, the interface isn't as smooth. It doesn't give you the pictures of high quality in the app, I feel like, as Tactacam or Spartan would.
I do like the filtering.
Yeah, you can, so the filtering works. You can kind of do that with Tactacam, though, too,
Yeah.
like the way you set it up. But the filtering is you can select certain cameras or certain areas or certain this and that, create a group, and then just look at only those cameras. So like Gore can put all his on a group and just only look at his, check in on ours if he wants. But in the morning when he wakes up and scrolls, it'll be just his.
The one thing about Tactacam I did not like about the sharing aspect was when you shared your camera with me, I couldn't request pictures or videos, and I couldn't filter correctly with using your cameras. And hunt-wise, you can. Hunt-wise, I can do everything, HD, video, filter, change the settings, which
So
I'm never
you
going
can't
to do.
look at just like one camera. You just whatever picture comes, that's what you could look
If
at
you
with
put your
Tactacam.
So like you can put a filter on in this hunt control app where you can just look at one camera. So everything that shows up is just the one camera. You can put anything you want into that group. Multiple cameras, video, whatever you want to put into those groups, you can put in, so that's what you see when you log into the app.
Tactacam, you can't.
No, Tactacam, you see all yours, and if you have shared ones, you can add them into the feed. So like I would share my cameras with Gore and Ethan, and they would be able to see each other's cameras, but like you'd have to scroll through each individual picture, and it would just be a different location every time. You know what I mean?
That's what I was kind of asking.
Yeah.
Because I shared my 2 cameras with my dad when we had that parks hunt for the month. I put my cameras up there, and so he can see what was going on too. And I haven't been on the other end of it.
Up to 50 people can log into our app at one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And use it however they want.
Send it over.
Nah, I'm good.
That's rude. We share all our
We do
pictures,
share.
except
We
with you.
do share. We do share.
Because they don't hunt nearby us. You do.
Guys are hunting the same properties.
Yeah, basically. So that part's cool. I do like how you can filter. What I don't like, and I guess I'll show you what I mean. So like if I open up the app here, Al, I have it set right now so it's on a 2x2 grid. The 2x2 grid is probably the best way. So it shows 2 pictures across the screen, and you can scroll through a bunch of them. If I change it to the 1x1, it distorts the image and it just doesn't look right. It's like it's all scrunched in. Like this is how the Tactacam app was,
Right.
and these pictures were really high quality. Like you could scroll through and like, oh yeah, these ones are like scrunches them weird. Then you could also go 3x3. So you can go in here and you can do the 3x3 app, which you can't tell shit on those.
Maybe if you had a tablet. It would
Yeah,
be a little
and
bit
you can
better.
log in on the computer and have it all, on a big monitor if you want to. So that's a possibility. So yeah, so far so good. Like I said, we've been using it about a week. The price point's right. Quality seems right. I would argue that the Spartan Go Live videos are probably better. And Spartan was before this Wise Eye situation, Spartan was actually my go-to. So Tactacam is what we had the most of, but Spartan had a better app, user-face cameras. And their monthly plans weren't hateful because you could share data for each camera. And actually, Andy Kelly came up to us today at the booth and was telling us how you can add them to your cell phone plan and pay even less and just have to buy the credits or whatever to use the app. But that sounded really confusing. With Spartan, the major problem was the price point of the cameras themselves. I mean, they're the cheapest camera they make right now is like $150. It used to be $200. They've kind of lowered the Go cams down to $150, but the Go Lives are $450. The Go Live 2s are like $500
For a camera?
for one camera. I understand that they are very high quality and they're great. It ain't worth it. I'm fucking sorry. $500 for one cell camera just ain't cutting it.
That Ant's going to get into and ruin.
There's most of the people, and to be fair,
How do they even do that? Like, what happens? What do the ants do?
they just live in there.
How does it ruin a camera?
Well, they're probably shitting on the circuit boards.
Maybe.
Small, very small
Have you ever
shits.
seen Ant-Man and the Wasp? Dude,
Yeah,
come on.
very small shits on the circuit board and eventually just corrode shit. They're pissing
Shorts
in there.
it out.
They're pissing in there.
I guess it
Everything
shorts it
pees,
out.
you know.
Yeah, everything pees.
You got that book coming up for you pretty soon.
Everybody poops.
Yep.
So, the Spartan cameras, they are great, but it seems like they're used by 2 groups of people. They're used by people that don't care about money. I'll pay for the best of the best and fuck it. Or people that are sponsored and they're getting them for free.
Yeah.
I used them for a long time, not being either one of those 2 groups, and it just I ran myself out cost-wise. Whenever a camera would go bad, they'd say, "Oh, just go buy a new one, $199." I'm like, well, I could buy 2 Tactacams for that or 2 Wise Eyes for that, and then run them cheaper. It's not worth it to me. I did like the videos and pictures we got over the years. They did a good job with that. Sometimes they wouldn't send, which was kind of a problem, but
So for the record, I'm not staying with Tactacam because I feel loyal to them or anything. It's pure laziness.
Same.
And I didn't know about the Wise Eyes
And
until
I'm
about, I think like a month ago when me and Ethan were talking about you guys switching over. Because you just ended your plan the other day, right? Like you were supposed, you had to stay with them with Tactacam.
Technically, I could use them up until the 12th, I believe. August 12th. But I was selling them at the fair, so I sold all my Tactacams at the fair in our booth. But once I canceled the subscription the next day, I got 3 different emails from 3 different people at Tactacam. Like, oh, we're sorry to see you go. We'd like to know what we did wrong to best assist you. So I did send them an email back. Very nice email. Just explaining everything. You know, the cost point of your camera is this. And they're going to come back and say, well, if you buy the year in advance, it's only $10 a camera. And in the long run, it works out. Yeah, but I don't want to spend $2,000 in January to run cameras for the whole year when I can spend $80 here, $90 this month, $50 this month, $90 this month, $200 during October, and then back to $90 a month. The whole buying in advance thing just a sham. If I could have a set price that would make sense to pay for it in advance and then just use unlimited data and unlimited cameras the rest of the year, I'd be kind of okay with that.
Right, why can't they just do a locked-in payment plan?
Because it changes.
No, like Tactacam. If it was, say, $2,000 for the year, just do a payment.
Well, their dad's like
to where you'd be locked in like a credit card, where you have to pay it anyways, but you don't have to pay it all up front.
The problem with Tactacam at this exact moment in time is they value their data more than the other companies.
Yeah.
$13 or $12 or $10 even a month for unlimited, which if you got, and I get it because they got outfitters in Texas that are probably running 100 cameras on unlimited data on feeders, so they're just scrunching through data. But the average guy like us, we're not going to use what's unlimited data. We're not going to use the amount of pictures that's going to give in an average month. We might the months we're using bait, October, November, December. Other than that, there's no way you're blowing through unlimited data.
Off subject. Have all your bush light cans been opening like that lately?
Every single one at the fair. Quarter open.
That is the most annoying thing.
Anheuser-Busch, what the fuck's going on with your beer cans?
Come on.
Why do they suck?
Pepsi cans that got mixed in or what?
All the comments are going to come flooding in. Well, you're drinking the gay beer.
Yeah. That's just piss water.
We still love our Busch Light. We don't care what the controversy was. Fuck them.
But Tactacam's also the most widely known too. I think like
their marketing game,
that green one with the X on it,
right? Yeah. Their marketing game when they came out with all their logos and the green, that crazy green color and everything,
green and black. I mean,
they did awesome with it. Yeah. It was a great success.
Very nice.
And they outpriced. Their goal was to say, listen, we're not as shitty. What's that company that everyone had at first that was just fucking bad?
Wild Game.
Spy Point.
Yeah.
So everyone
that's
did.
The one Mark has that he owes me.
So everyone was I think he owes you a Spartan.
Oh yeah, it is. One of them is Spartan.
So he, off subject. So everyone was running Spy Points prior to 2019, and they were just shit. They just sucked. The customer service was bad. Blah 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 blah. And then there was the option to run Spartan, but that was pricey. 150 or at the time $200 per camera, monthly plan, blah 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 blah. So Tactacam came in and said, bam, we'll hit you with the $100 camera, $10 a month, pictures away, good customer service, everything's going to work. And it did. And they did very well for a couple years there. They kind of led the market.
They're still doing well.
Oh, they're doing just fine. Us leaving them's not hurt. Us leaving them ain't hurting them at all.
Yeah.
They're probably still the number one cell cam in the world by volume. But we found something that works better for us. I guess that's my piece on that.
Plus, time will tell. I mean,
yeah, I might have it this season. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's August 1st,
things,
you know. So,
we haven't seen cold weather. We haven't even rained on these cameras yet. So
until right now.
Is it finally raining?
It's raining out there.
Thank God.
So, what's the over under on Nick smashing that last Tactacam he's running?
High.
Okay.
Yeah, high. Nick hates Tactacams more than we do. I don't even hate Tactacams. I just found a better option. Nick hates Tactacams. Hates them. Anti-Tactacam man. That's what he is.
And I found what batteries you put in there really does matter. Like, that, it was a huge part. I put some cheapos in there. Garbage. It would brand new batteries. When it send pictures, when it take pictures, when it do nothing, you put good lithiums in there. it was night and day
Yeah.
difference. So
They say the same thing about the memory cards. So I know we all run good memory cards, but a lot of people buy the camera, put their Dollar General batteries in there, find the cheapest $7 Amazon memory card, and ask why it's not working.
all right.
They'll call customer service and they'll be like, well, you're running shit fucking batteries. This memory card is basically useless. Use it as a fucking toothpick. Throw it away. Like, you got to buy this $20 memory card. Oh, it's,
Yeah, I never had an issue with memory cards. I only used some of the cheaper ones a couple times. The issues I had with mine was the SIM card. You had to put it in and out a couple times for it to get signal and work like it's supposed to.
I had that problem with Spartans. There was a period last year and maybe a little bit the year before, but last year, where the SIM, like the camera, you turn the camera on, it would go to initializing, and then it said like no data on SIM, please try again or something. There was a code, and if you're a Spartan person, you're gonna know the code I'm talking about, and it would show signal bars, but the camera wouldn't work, and that was happening with all of our cameras. The true fix to that was to just do a firmware update. You got to take the memory card. You got to have a memory card to your computer, download the new firmware, put it in the camera, do the upload, and then it would work flawless. But when you have, like we said, when you have 20-plus cell cameras spread out all over the fucking world, to have a memory card to go do that in person to each one when it happened was just a big pain in the
very
ass.
inconvenient.
Very inconvenient. Sometimes I would fix it by taking the memory card out, putting the memory card back in, formatting it, taking the SIM card out, like you said, wiping it on shit, putting it back in. Some reason it would like get signal for like a couple more weeks and then it would lose it. And it'd be weird because the camera would have like half battery, full signal, and then it would just stop sending pictures. And me and Nick would be like, yeah, it needs a fucking firmware update. Like, we were able to like bypass whatever it was trying to do for a minute and have it work, but then it would just stop. So that was really annoying with the Tactacam or with the Spartans. I never really had to do too much of a worry with the firmware on the Tactacams. Like, they seem to be pretty straightforward.
It's never become an issue yet. Now I'm
Now that
going
we
to get
say
the one
that,
out of the
yeah.
woods, and it's going to be junk.
Well, that's if you get it out of the woods, it's easy to fix it at home. It's the problem when you're in the woods during the season, they stop working because they need a firmware update and they're a fucking state away. That pissed me
Kentucky,
off.
Pennsylvania, Indiana.
Yeah, pissed me off. Shit. But I don't know if that'll happen with Wise Eyes. It could, so not sure. The Wise Eyes, the Tactacam, the more expensive one, which is like $150, it runs a dual antenna. So like areas that are a little sketchy with service, it supposedly gets better service.
We'll see.
Yeah. West Virginia will be a good
Multi-carrier, too.
determining factor on that. Yeah, you can get like AT&T, Verizon, or multi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be a good test this year for them.
Yeah, we'll run them through the rigor. And if they don't work, then I'll sell them all and just buy something else. I don't care.
Move on to the next.
Yeah, how many cell cams have you gone through, and how many regular trail cams have you gone through?
Our pile of dead regular trail cams is
growing
a lot.
And so for
Alex brought here. So if you're watching on YouTube, Alex has a old classic in front of us here.
Old stealth cam.
Stealth cam film job. This is also a stealth cam digital job. It's broken. Thanks, Bob, for selling me a broken camera. I gotta get that fixed or figure out what I'm doing with that.
So
he sold me a dud.
Unlike Tactacam, where you were committed to them for so long, you could just at the end of a month you could just be like, I hate this shit and I'm done. Or
I'm not locked in.
You're not locked in.
But I can't. If I stop paying, like I can't drop below 12. So if I stop paying, if I pull some cameras off my app, it'll stop sending pictures if it drops below 12. But yeah, I'm only in month by month right now. They actually haven't sent me a bill for the first month yet. Usually when you like Tactacam and Spartan, you have to buy everything up front. And then blah, blah, blah.
Anything.
I added my credit card to this plan a week ago, and I haven't got anything on it yet. So I don't know if they wait a month to see what the data level is and then charge you.
Probably.
But theoretically, that gives you
off the data.
That gives you a free month.
They probably do it a month.
You know what I mean?
30 days of you having the camera on.
Right, but the other ones you have to buy it up front.
Yeah, but if you were to
You know what I'm
cancel,
saying?
they
So-
would charge you for what you used previous.
Right.
Probably. But
So either way, you're paying for it.
I mean, it's like your cell phone. You pay for your monthly plan. Then if you went over, you're going to have to pay that on the next bill.
Who goes over on
has
cell
anyone?
phones?
Yeah, no one has.
Well, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Your
when
50
you
text
could.
messages.
Yeah. Over your 450.
Has anyone else's cell phones been stupid lately? Like mine has started to suck in like the last week or
It's
two.
almost like
Mine
you're
is
spending
old.
a lot of time in
I
a
think
place with a
it's-
lot of people.
Yeah, but the old thing they
Yeah,
got.
that's true, too.
like Apple got sued for that. The iPhone got sued for down throttling or throttling people's data after a certain age. Like it was, they lost the
He's
lawsuit.
talking about the amount of people.
Yeah, but I have FirstNet. It's supposed to be better in crowds, and we have our phones right next to each other with the same service, and he has more than I do.
Yeah.
And that's fucked
I
up.
have a newer phone too.
That doesn't mean anything.
Technology ages. Yes, it does. I mean,
I
everything.
finally got off
Your
my
car. It's like a car.
grandfathered.
Oh no! I put 100,000 miles
There's
in my car.
there's not a piston in here that's getting worn out.
Still little things of electronics though.
Nah, I don't think so. We went to this. We
Why
went
did
to,
T- why did
we went
TVs
to
die
the
then?
moon
Why
on a
did-
space shuttle that had rotary phone technology.
You know, maybe you could try something like you're doing with the Tactacams, and you
We're
could
not
go from
switching away
Apple
from
to Android.
I'm not going to Android.
Highly
I
recommend
think
it.
how old is your phone? My phone's like 3 or 4 years old. The battery just can't hold up, and my internal data is
I'm wiped.
maxed. But I can put a memory card in here, can you?
No.
Oh, okay.
How many gigs is yours?
My phone is only like 128.
That's what mine is, and it's full.
I got a 256er.
I just goes to the cloud and erases off my phone.
Yeah, but you stop paying
don't
for that, then
trust
they
the
erase
cloud.
all your pictures, and they're gone forever, and then you don't have
Yeah.
them.
Darn.
Well,
Listen,
I finally got
we're
off.
in the business of preserving our legacy here with all this recording and pictures and videos. The fact that they can just
You need it.
turn it off and take it from you forever is scary to me.
I finally got off my old grandfathered unlimited plan last year, I think.
They made you?
No, it was just costing too much.
Really?
Yeah, because it was, I think I was paying like $130 a month for my phone to have the OG unlimited, like no throttle back, nothing. And I had, what else did I have? Oh, I had my hotspot on there too.
Yep.
Which was unlimited.
I have unlimited
unthrottled.
hotspot too.
Yeah, through the
But
first
I never
net,
used it anymore. I never used the hotspot because
I use mine at work a lot.
All the time.
A lot. We watch I've watched 6 seasons of Banshee, or 4 seasons. I've watched all of House of Dragons. I've watched at work on my hotspot.
on
True
what,
Detective.
your laptop.
Like no, to the smart TV at work.
Oh. They don't have internet at work for you guys to use?
No, because firemen would type in boobies and like
City government.
fucking, and then you're on like a city government
Gotcha,
Wi-Fi,
yeah. I
and
guess that
then
makes
then
sense.
you have city officials on duty watching porn. That just doesn't go well with
Yeah, that
people.
makes
So,
sense.
so we don't have Wi-Fi at work, so that is avoided. We just watch it on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have that issue. I used to use it for my house internet, but then we had Spectrum, cost too much, and went to the Verizon home internet, the $25 a month thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it works good for, we got 2 TVs and whatever else.
So I'm about to look into the lit fiber. So I got the lit fiber on my road, and my Spectrum, yeah, it's $120 a month. Like, it's a lot of money. But of course, I use internet heavily for all the stuff we do. So good internet's important. So I'm willing to pay some money for good internet. But if I can get the lit fiber for cheaper than the Spectrum, which is 400 meg for 120, I'm probably doing that.
Yeah, I don't know what our Spectrum was, but it was, we never had any issues with it, with the kids streaming everything all day.
Yeah,
It was never an issue.
that's
It
good.
just cost too much.
I've seen some of the YouTube channels that your kids watch, and they're weird.
They are strange.
They're strange.
There's one that we could get in on, though.
Yeah?
They're just running stuff over, and they just make sound effects for the stuff getting ran
Not
over.
bad.
Yeah, let's do it.
It could be a very easy one.
The problem is kids don't generate money on YouTube. You can, like, 1 million views with kids watching is like akin to 10,000 views of old men watching, because 10,000 old men have a lot
Yeah,
more money
but-
than 1 million kids.
When one kid watches it 1 million times.
That's true. That part is
That's
true.
why they have billions of views. That's why
My
that
daughter will start
Ryan
watching
kid
some of
is-
that stuff soon, I'm sure.
My daughter's been watching baseball.
Yeah, mine's been watching Game of Thrones. That's what I
she's
put
been
on.
the-
When I feed her, I put on Game of Thrones. I've been rewatching that series for the 3rd time because it's just so fucking good.
It is so good.
It's so fucking good. I'm in like season 4. They just killed Joffrey. Sansa.
I love that.
Sansa is at the Vale. They just killed the lady. Like, Baelish just threw the lady through the moon door at the Vale.
Yes.
Jon Snow is about to get skewered by his own people.
So 4 years ago is when Game of Thrones ended. Because
Longer
it was
than that, I think.
it's
Way
but
longer than that.
a little bit. No, it's only been a little bit over 4 years, because it was the summer before I moved into my new house, and we binged it that summer.
It's longer than that. because House of Dragons on season 2, which started filming 3 years ago, and it was like 5 years after Game of Thrones ended. I'll look it up right now. We'll fact check each other.
You're gonna be wrong, Gil.
I might.
I'm telling
I'm
you,
allowed to be
we
wrong.
binged it.
4 to 6.
We binged it a little over 4 years ago. Right when it ended, the day it ended, we watched the first episode. We binged it for like 2 months.
The last episode aired in November of 2019, so 5 years.
So we did it. The last episode of Game of Thrones,
2019,
season
because
7.
we're already on season 2 of House of Dragons, and it takes 2 years to film each season, and it started after.
I thought it was a summer, so then it was about a year.
Yeah.
So then it was about a year before it
It's
moved
been
in. So
gone. It's been off the TV for a long time.
It's been almost 5 years since the last episode.
Yeah.
because
Yep,
we
yep.
were
And-
getting
Well,
the
it probably
DVDs
was
from the library
so-
to watch it.
There's this thing called a library where you can get this thing called DVDs.
Free.
So we
It
binged
probably aired in 2020.
We binged it, and I haven't gone back since. So I've been trying to forget as much as I could. Where this winter, when it's when I'm not hunting, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna rewatch Game of Thrones. I'm gonna rewatch Ozark.
Ozark is a good one.
So we were.
Almost forgot about that.
So we were watching House of Dragons at work in the last episode. When you guys are watching this podcast, the last episode of season 2 will be aired, so it'll be all out there. But we started rewatched season 1 of House of Dragons. Started watching season 2 of House of Dragons, and me and a guy at work are like it starts. It's set way before Game of Thrones, but there's some families and this and that, and I'm like, let's just pick a random episode of Game of Thrones to put on in the background while we eat dinner tonight because it's so good. So we picked the episode where Jaime Lannister sees the dragon for the first time as it comes flying in, Daenerys and blah blah blah, and Bronn saves him. He almost gets killed, and I'm like, we're watching that. I'm like, yeah, I got to rewatch this. Like this is so because it's Game of Thrones is better than House of Dragons. Like it's just
I
not-
haven't seen it yet.
House of Dragons is good and it's definitely filling that void, but like Game of Thrones is just so.
I tried
much
watching it. I
better.
just couldn't. I just
Before
didn't
I-
get into it. I just wasn't
Yeah.
in the mood.
It's
I guess.
not
I
Game
don't
of
know.
Thrones.
No.
Before I
'Cause
forget,
I watched it like right after
I watched a
rewatched.
movie the other day that made me think about you, and I was not sure if it. I mean, you've probably heard of it. I just don't know. Don't know if you would like it. Or
Ethan
not.
keeps checking his watch.
So
like,
it's-
I want to be. If you want to leave, either
No,
go to
it's-
bed. You can go to bed.
The movie's probably about gay people.
Yeah.
So it's Willem
Back
Dafoe,
Mountain.
Okay.
and he is like a researcher of it, or in a sense, and he is trying to find Tasmanian tiger. Have you seen that movie?
I've heard of it. I've seen it. It's Netflix,
I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. I've heard of it. I have not
I
watched it.
can't remember what the name of it is. We watched it like a week or two ago.
It's kind of right up my alley.
Pretty
like,
cool flick. Pretty cool flick.
We're
Just,
going to do a Bigfoot podcast one of these days.
I
gonna-
think you should just
You
do
should-
a camping trip to Salt Fork and look.
We
for
have
'em.
talked about that. We talked about this years
Podcast while
ago.
we're down there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We actually talked about like before finding
You can hunt public
Bigfoot.
ground.
Before finding Bigfoot came on the air, we talked about like let's just go down there with all our camera equipment. We'll pack in a couple bottles of whiskey, camp deep in Salt Fork or deep in the public, do some wood knocks at night, like just obviously for fun, but you never know. And then all this shit came on TV now where they do all this stuff, and it kind of took away the coolness, the factor of it.
We'll
but
pick a
I'd be
weekend for 3 years from now when we
Yeah.
have free time.
yeah, whenever I get free
It's
time.
called The Hunter.
Is it good?
I thought it was very good.
I'll check it out.
You're an IMDb guy, right?
Yeah.
It's a 6.7 for whatever that means to you.
That's high average.
So-
That's better than average. Right
So,
around average, high average.
Pretty good.
I'll check it out. I like Willem Dafoe. Platoon.
Platoon.
Platoon is the movie for Willem Dafoe.
Actually, and I'll just throw
Won
this
the
out
Academy
there.
Award for Best Picture.
Since we've gone like so far off
I'm going to
fucking
bed.
topic,
Go to bed, Ethan. Good night.
Oh, see ya.
And if you guys are listening to this podcast, we're probably not talking about hunting anymore during
Yeah.
this. So
We might get back into it.
yeah, we
gonna-
might. We're just bullshit at this point. So
since
See
we've
ya,
gone
Fresh.
off on this tangent, I watched a movie that I didn't realize was a true movie. Gina found it. She just threw it on, and it kind of caught my attention. It was the 13 Hours in Benghazi.
Oh, here we go.
it's called 13 Hours, right?
Yeah, the Secret Soldiers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hillary Clinton, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because she was the Secretary of
Yeah,
State.
yeah, yeah.
She didn't authorize. I didn't realize that event ever even happened.
Yeah, during your lifetime.
The guy that plays, oh my God, he's on The Office. Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
He's kind of like
John
a main character.
Krasinski.
John
yeah,
Krasinski. Yeah.
Good movie. Very.
That dude
good
made a
movie.
name
also,
for
for anyone that
coming
hasn't
from a
seen.
sitcom. That
Yeah.
dude made a name for
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, Jack Ryan was good.
Jack Ryan was. Pretty
I didn't
good.
watch Jack Ryan. So my dad always read the Tom Clancy books, like every single one. You know, Hunt for Red October and all the old ones. And Harrison Ford was John Clancy or was Jack Ryan for a while. So was Steven Seagal, right? Under
think so,
Siege.
yeah.
They're like Erica Leniak jumps out of the cake naked. That part. He was Jack Ryan, and then someone else played Jack Ryan for a little bit. Maybe Tom Cruise did for a movie or two. I can't remember, but yeah, now this John Krasinski.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was so many.
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Ryans.
He goes from being like nothing and then like all those books, and then he becomes like president of the United States eventually, and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But
So we're kind of at a point. We stopped doing the Netflix thing.
yeah, I think I might.
I just kind of got sick of going through it. We have Amazon Prime, so we get it for free, which it does. I actually think they've got a pretty good selection of shows and movies.
Well, and even if they don't have it,
pissed
you
that they
can buy
started
it.
doing
right,
ads.
you can buy it. I know the
Have-
freebie ads or whatever.
Is that
Yeah.
is that on everything, or is that just
I
on
think
some
it's on
things?
It's
well,
on everything.
You can get
Really? Like if I would watch my Legend of Boggy Creek tonight when I go home that I bought for 4K, would it be on there?
If you
I've-
bought it, no. I
Okay.
would say no.
I've watched a couple things that are just available with Prime that haven't had ads, but most have ads, and some of the newer stuff seem to have more ads.
Yeah.
To where it's
Yeah,
not
I mean
standard.
that's kind of the way of the world, right?
We were watching The
But
Boys, and
so
there's ads.
we're going through it, and obviously it's like anything; it's going to give you suggestions, movies we think you like, and
Blah, blah, blah.
so
The
we're going through
the
it.
algorithm.
And Gina's looking at
Right.
one, and I don't know. Tell me if you think this is crazy, because even being a 29-year-old female, she goes, "The Gladiator." I'm like, "Yeah, what about it?" She goes, "I don't know if I've seen it," and I kind of
I don't think.
question.
I bet you Lindsay probably hasn't seen it.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. So all right, I'll cut her break. I could not.
I
get
don't
over
think.
it.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if Lindsay, because Lindsay would call that a Caleb movie. Oh, it's 3 hours and it takes place in, 0 AD, and it's got a bunch of guys fighting with swords and a thing. That's a Caleb movie. I'm not watching that.
Yeah, but it's like iconic.
Yeah,
I get it though. I mean, I do get it.
I just
so
rewatched
fucking good.
a couple of years ago because I couldn't remember. I mean, I watched it probably when it came out, and
So Ridley Scott is
90s.
like up and down with his movies because he did that Napoleon recently. It's not that good.
I
Like,
haven't
Napoleon
seen
sucked, but like Gladiator is amazing, and he has some other movies that are. There's probably people listening like you don't remember all the Ridley Scott movies off the top of your head, but he's got a lot of good movies, and he's got a lot of movies that just suck.
I couldn't tell you one.
I'm gonna look them up.
The Gladiator.
Besides,
It's
that
not the Gladiator, by
Or
the way.
Gladiator.
It's Gladiator. You're saying it wrong.
Gladiator.
Just saying. Just for term.
Well, it just gets hard because I just feel like good movies just aren't made anymore.
Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven, Robin Hood, the shitty one with Russell Crowe, Gods and Kings, terrible. Black Hawk Down, amazing. Blade Runner, Prometheus, Alien Covenant,
Excuse
The
me.
Martian, Thelma and Louise. So yeah, he's got
A little
lot.
up and down.
He's got a lot.
Spread
Gettysburg.
out too.
Yeah, he's been doing movies for a very long time. The Martian was good. Marky Mark.
So one of my favorite actors that I think plays an amazing character, but he's generally not in the best movies because they're too, I'll call him Fast and the Furious-y, is Jason Statham.
I hate him. I know.
You hate
hate
Jason?
him?
I think
Oh,
he's a
come on.
phenomenal actor, and he does all his own stunts.
I hate him for the reason you said.
Well,
Fast and
hey,
Furious.
it's business though.
It is business. But we're in the
Crank's a great movie.
so you have to look
It's
at
kind of
it.
cheesy, but it's good.
I
But
like-
I mean,
I-
got some better movies than that.
I like him in Snatch.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's a really good fucking movie. But
he's kind of like a British Jean-Claude Van Damme.
which Jean-Claude Van Damme?
What? Hard Target? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I tried to watch because one of my favorite actors, standard blah blah blah, Brad Pitt, whatever. I think Brad Pitt's awesome.
If you don't like Brad Pitt, you're just not cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's awesome. So
Yeah.
I had never watched Fury.
It's good.
Unfortunately, not because of the movie. I just am getting old, and I fell asleep the other night. So I'm gonna try and go back and rewatch
I mean, Fury is very good. It's
I
not.
don't think I watched it.
It's not like
because that's the I'm saying that right.
tank
That's the tank
movie.
movie.
Yep.
Okay.
so. Like it's going to be compared to the Steven Spielberg stuff. So it's going to be compared to Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers. That kind of stuff.
Right.
So like it's not quite there. It's better than like Dunkirk. It's pretty good, but it's not Saving Private Ryan.
No,
But
I
it's
mean,
good.
I'm not sure anything.
What's your favorite Brad Pitt movie?
I mean, would I be generic to say Fight Club? I mean,
That's what I mean. I like Fight Club too. I made Lindsay watch it the first time, and she's
Inglourious
just like
Bastards?
trying to figure it out. She's like, "What? This is like what? Like she's like, what's that little picture? I seen him in the. I'm like, you'll understand eventually. Like, just keep watching.
Inglourious Bastards is
Very good. But dude, Legends of the Fall. Have you guys seen
I-
Legends of the Fall?
Don't get into
Oh my God,
You got a lot more time.
Anthony
that.
Hopkins.
You've watched a lot more movies, I think, than most
for the
people.
record, Caleb.
Yes.
Yeah, he is
Then
the absolute.
you memorize everything and everyone that's in every movie, so
Sir Anthony Hopkins is in it.
you're like an encyclopedia for
I wish I
random
could.
movies.
I
I'll
wish
give
I
you
could be
my-
an encyclopedia about things that matter. Now that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll
I'd be
give
like
you
Stephen
my
Hawking if I was.
my gay Brad Pitt movie that I like is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I was going to say that, actually.
It's all right. Yeah,
I mean,
Mostly
it's not a
obviously-
bad movie. It's
Mostly
just,
because she's in there.
'Cause
Angelina
Angel-
Jolie.
but like you got,
That
like,
was her prime.
you got like Seven, Fight
Oh,
Club,
Seven.
Inglorious
I
Bastards.
forgot
I mean,
about
Brad
Seven.
Pitt
Seven
is in
is
some.
Oh
probably
no, he's
the best Brad Pitt movie.
It's very good. I mean,
I would say that.
Seven has no flaws. You know what I mean? Like you can't. There's nothing you can say to knock it. It's just
No,
fuck.
that's a great movie.
We were talking about this at work the other day, and we went pretty deep into it. Actually, I talked about it at 2 different stations on 2 different shifts. Try to name a
Can't believe you would talk that much.
flawless movie.
The Departed.
The Departed's close, if not
It's
flawless.
good.
But there's a movie I said the other day in the group chat, so it kind of gives it away. I talked about it a little bit, but there is a movie that is perfectly flawless.
I would say, well, fuck. It's been so long since I've seen it. Because I try to not overwatch these things. Gangs of New York.
Gangs in New York has a couple problems,
But
but that's a great movie, very good movie. But I think when it comes to a flawless movie, I think you can't be any more perfect than Jaws. Just everything about Jaws is perfect.
I feel like there's a little bias sentiment in there.
Nah.
But
If you
The soundtrack, the
think
acting,
about
the
it as you were a
storyline.
kid when you watched it, then yeah.
We watched it at work the other day.
Yeah.
We watched it again, like as adults, and it's like, damn, this movie holds up.
what's
It's
his
just
name?
good.
Like the main character's name.
Quint? Quint's the captain.
Right. What's his name?
Hooper.
But
and
his
Sheriff
what's his
Brody.
actual name?
Well, the Quint was Robert Shaw. He was a classically trained actor, died of a heart attack on the side of the road, and not long after Jaws.
Encyclopedia.
But he was a very good actor. Hooper is played by Robert Dreyfuss, who's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that
Yes.
kind of stuff. And then Sheriff Brody I can't remember who plays Sheriff Brody. I can see his face and everything, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, perfect movie.
Yeah, I mean it's like food. It's subject. I
Yeah.
like Jaws. You know, it's a good movie.
My dad watched Jaws all the time.
Because it's perfect.
But you
As a
can
kid,
you can
over and
overindulge.
over and over and
Your
over.
favorite song, if you listen to it every day, ain't gonna be your favorite song.
I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit" when I was pulling into the fair today, and I thought, God damn, this is a
Yeah.
good song.
Yeah.
It just rocks. I had to shut my car off in like 20 seconds, but it just popped out. I cranked it anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my favorite song, but
It's stuck in my head that that's your favorite song. Then Marcy's Playground, I Smell Sex and Candy, whenever that comes
it's
on.
my ringtone.
Your
When you
freaking
call
ring
me.
back.
Ring back tone. Ring back
Oh
tone.
my god! Every
For
time I hear it, I'm
years.
like, God damn it, Caleb! You
Ruined a
fucker."
song for you.
Yeah.
Yours, if I remember,
forgot about ring back.
did you?
tones.
You had one too, didn't you? Yours is
I
probably
had
3
something.
Days Grace.
Who knows?
I hate.
No,
everything
I mean, I liked 3 Days
about
Grace
you.
back then, but not that song that much.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, or maybe something by Disturbed, or Korn.
Who knows?
Chop
Could have been
Suey.
the rap song too.
Chop
you
Suey.
never know.
Yeah, it could have been BYOB.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I changed it up, you know.
Nothing
Gotta
wrong
keep
with
it
that.
fresh.
Nothing wrong. Mine was like a stupid grunge song played with a bass guitar, like 3 chords. Doom, doom, doom. That's all it was.
And now no one wants to hear the phone.
No, my phone's been on silent for at least 6 or 7 years. Literally on silent.
Well, no one really talks on the phone anymore.
No.
I actually
Someone's calling
I
me-
try and go out of my way to make phone calls because if I want to text you more than like 2 or 3 times to get an answer,
Well, if someone's calling me, it's usually like a problem. Uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like, uh-oh. Why is that
yeah,
person
I mean
calling
I
me?
get
Or I
that,
need
but
you to answer like now.
Yeah, like I have a flat
Hey,
tire.
I'm on my way to your house to drop off all this corn for you.
Yeah. I'm not going to be there, so just throw it in the barn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Corn sales are starting.
Yeah, if you guys need corn, get it from Alex.
All right,
I'm
so
going to try not to use them at all, but I probably will.
I might have a whole semi setting in my yard.
Really? Your wife's going to love that.
So will the village.
You can put in that little stretch of road right there?
Yeah, I'll leave it on the road for 'em.
so given the caliber of deer that I have kind of mingling,
They're
Do you-
coming to my place, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, so you're not running any cameras or nothing, right? You only have what you've been seeing from your back deck,
essentially,
150-inch 10-point.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go closer to 60.
Yeah, he's in velvet, so
It's subject.
we'll see when he.
He's a nice
sheds,
deer.
but- Yeah.
Real
For
nice
sure.
deer.
He's a
I mean,
really nice deer.
I don't have it in me to put bait out.
No, I'm trying not to. I know our buddy right here who's sitting next to us sells it, but I'm trying not to just for there's many reasons. But
I might
if
put
I
a
have
little
to-
bit out
if I have-
tomorrow just to.
if I have
Well,
to,
just
I will.
given
but-
all right. So
see what
given
we
the
can
fact that I obviously have other properties that I'm,
Are you gonna
that
spend
I
some
hunt
time
diff-
over there or what?
which ones?
That one
Yeah.
should probably.
Yeah.
I've been watching this puddle of water get closer to the edge.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I will
almost-
be making my way to both of my properties very soon. I'm pretty sad that I haven't got out there and got stuff running. I do have. So by the way, brain surgeon's not a brain surgeon.
What is he?
He is medical sales.
Oh, he's not even a surgeon. Fuck the guy.
So
Oh,
he started.
Bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. He's
Anyone
a
could
salesman.
do that. Disbro did that 10 times.
He
Fuel
started.
oil.
He did start. I did ask him to subscribe to SBO. So
Oh.
if you're listening, it's a different medical salesman.
If you're listening at the 1 hour and 4 minute
Yeah.
mark after we've talked about movies for 20 minutes and music and
So,
ringback tones,
he did start a driveway,
Thanks for
but
then
listening.
you
We
are a
appreciate
true
you.
fucking man. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Be like, I listened past the 1 hour mark. I'm a man. We
That's
love you
true.
guys.
I've got a decent little spot that I can hunt, and a fella bought some property next to us.
fella.
Just under 100 acres, and he's pretty serious about hunting. He does some of the Western DIY stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty big hunter, and he's trying to kind of change the landscape of the property a little bit to kind of keep some areas where he thinks he might hold some deer.
You can't hold deer on 100 acres.
No, you can't. But
They'll run
he's-
through it in literally 12
So
seconds.
he's also attempting. He's putting a driveway, and he's going to build. Him and his wife are going to move.
He
down
bought the
there.
property himself. It's not permission.
No,
So he
it's his
doesn't live
property.
there in that red house?
No, he put a drive. If you go and drive down that road, there's a driveway that just went in. He's going to start.
Are you
his
going to
building.
become friends with the guy? Like, is he going to be on
Yeah, I
the podcast
think-
one day?
Let's trend lightly. I'll feel him out. I think he's pretty cool, but he's been sharing pictures with me, and he's got nothing over.
So he's only sharing his little shit.
I mean,
I play this game too. We all play this game.
I
That's all I got,
understand.
man. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a rough year. I think you should probably focus on something else. He's got this buck, like every day.
Yeah.
12 yards
We'll
from
see.
your stand.
we were
No
we were
one
pretty
shares
open
that.
on
Where
sharing.
Nobody
stand
shares that
was.
shit.
We were pretty open on sharing some of it. Not that we didn't have no hook or
Yeah.
nothing running around last year, but we were pretty open on sharing that stuff. So I felt a little less obligated there, but over at the northwest of here, I'd like to get over there.
Yeah,
Point being,
have you
though-
talked to Tipton?
Haven't talked to
I haven't
Tipton.
seen him yet this week. Usually I see him at the fair, and I haven't seen him.
Haven't talked to Tipton. I'm going to reach out to him. He had a real great year.
Yeah,
Big West
he
Virginia
always
buck.
he always seems like
big,
he does a good job.
Big buck out northwest, and so I'm excited to get out there. The food's going to be different this year. I think
Corn?
I got my double crop late beans.
Oh fuck,
yeah.
that's good.
So that I'm excited to get
Same
going
tree.
with that.
Is your tree stand still in that tree?
No, I've got it deep right now. I'm buying a couple of new sets
Yeah, that
though.
would
But
be-
given the fact I have other places to hunt and I got what I got close, would you try and keep that close as an option of if it stays consistent?
I would go for that off the rip.
Yeah.
If I could get that deer that you have close off the rip, I would go. You're not going to find I mean, theoretically, you could find a bigger deer elsewhere, but
Well, there is one close in the area.
Well, let's just
I'm saying the deer that he does
Was,
have for
if you
sure
don't know.
on his camera
Yeah.
in that area behind his house right now. I mean, it's cheap hunting, but you have the ability to spread out a little bit back there. You don't have to shoot your pool 12 yards off your back deck this
Yeah.
year.
He's going to sit in the pool, remember?
Oh yeah, cut a little window through it because you're not.
Yeah.
That pool has not been replaced, by the way. It's a cesspool now. It is a wilderness cesspool. And the funny part is, his brother replaced his pools as a side job.
I already
Actually,
did the
So this
liner
dude
once.
shot his pool last year during deer season, drained it down to a quarter of full,
It drained itself.
and then there it is, sitting to this day still.
let's
How many frogs are in there?
Let's be honest about it here. All right, so I'm just helping the ecosystem.
I mean,
When I shot my pool, it was not ideal, but my
Yeah, I
pool
don't think you
and my
wanted to
deck
shoot it.
were very old. They came with the house, and I was getting close to putting them down. So it was kind of
a
actually
mercy kill.
It was kind of like a blessing that
the
it
pool
happened.
was a mercy
So.
kill.
But I'm just looking for some honest opinions on, if you have other options, do you go for them to try and do it a different kind of way, or if you've got that there, do you just try and
I mean,
keep it close? Like what
Well,
if
what's your end game?
my
I
end
mean,
game is to get more inches than you in the next
Well,
5 years on the
I'd
board.
go try the other places.
Yeah.
So I do the opposite of him because of what he's telling you that. If I had that deer that you have in your backyard, in my backyard, or let's just say if I had that deer here to kill, I'd be all in. Like,
Yeah.
all in, 100%.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
We're an hour and 10 minutes now. I think it's time.
Yeah.
We got some
Fair
we got some
football.
we got some
Tactacam.
off-camera talk.
Sorry, I couldn't hold it.
With that note, episode unknown.
Sneeze out.
We're out.
Out.
See ya.
Out.